Yeah, you're a big Harry Potter fan?
They are. I never read them, but the family, yeah, my wife read them when she was little, and now she tells them to read them, and she likes to watch the movies.
It is fun to see that pass through the generations, and Harry Potter is one to do that for sure. All right, good morning, everybody. It is 8:01 on this Tuesday, and we start with this. Search and recovery efforts continue this morning in the Hill Country following the devastating 4th of July flood. At least 132 people have died, including 27 campers and counselors at Camp Mystic.
Officials have not yet fully explained key details about the critical early hours of that flood. Ivan Rodriguez joins us live now from Kerrville. Ivan, what are we learning about the hours leading up to the catastrophic flooding, especially at Camp Mystic? And this is a question we've had since day one.
Steph, Jacob, good morning. Well, we are getting a better picture of what happened in those hours leading up to that catastrophic flooding. Co-director of Camp Mystic, Richard Eastland, actually received that first alert about, quote, life-threatening flash flooding on his phone around 1:14 in the morning, but that alert that came in did not have an evacuation order on it. We're told by a family spokesperson that after he received that first alert, Eastland reached out to family, contacted family using a walkie-talkie. The relocation of campers to a recreation hall began in the hours of 2 to 2:30 in the morning, and the family spokesperson again tells us, quote, there was no information available concerning the magnitude of what was coming right around that 2:30 time frame. Now, it wasn't until 4:30 in the morning that the National Weather Service issued a more dire warning, this time asking people to seek higher ground because of the threat of flooding. Eastland died at Camp Mystic while trying to rescue girls near a cabin a little closer to the Guadalupe River, where some of the youngest girls were being housed. It's also important to note that Eastland had been very vocal for decades, really since the 80s, about the potential of dangerous flooding in the area.
Yeah, it's really hard to hear those new details coming to light and trying to save those campers. Well, Ivan, we see behind you that it appears to not be raining, and it looks like that road's open as well, but we've been talking about heavy rain that's been hitting the area within the last few days. What are the challenges that crews are facing there today?
Well, you know, it's been an ongoing challenge, and the rain has only made things a little bit more difficult for crews, especially since the weekend when we saw that more rain come into this area of central Texas. A surge in the water of the Guadalupe River as well. We actually heard from the United Cajun Navy mentioning how they had divers in the river days ago surveying parts of the debris inside of the river, really dark areas of the river. And because of that surge in water, they now have to go through and survey those very same areas they had just gone through days ago, because now it's a whole different landscape under the water that was just pushed across since we saw that surge in the Guadalupe River. They also shared a picture of what appeared to be a truck or a car buried in the gravel in the Guadalupe River, a part that was a little bit more dried out. But that gives you a sense of what they're working with, things that can be buried underground. And earlier there, we heard from the Kerr County Sheriff mention a timeline. We could be going up to search and recovery efforts up to possibly 6 months. So this is going to be a continued effort here. This morning, we're also expecting volunteers to check in again here at a local stadium in Kerrville to assist. That is news, because for the last 2 days, volunteers haven't been able to help out with these search and recovery efforts because of the concerns with the weather.
And Ivan, we've talked to you and of course your colleague and our reporters have been on the ground there. I've been on the ground there, and we talk about the mood and what we notice when we're there in the city, the grief there, the gratitude. But what would you say about what you've noticed about the people there, the locals?
Well, you see this growing memorial here behind me in the heart of Kerrville, and we've seen people come here as well as in Guadalupe Park, another location here in town where there's been a row of crosses placed right by the Guadalupe River. But I would say those two areas are places where people have been coming to process what's been going on, that emotional toll that a lot of people are feeling. Here in this memorial behind me, you'll find flowers, cards, stuffed animals, and even pictures of victims. And when when we're talking about that death toll that's been so high, about 101 people still missing across the state, 97 here alone in Kerr County, it's hard to process and grasp that number. But when you come to these memorials, you really are met with a better sense, and you're able to put some names to those numbers. Over the weekend, when volunteers were no longer, or were asked rather, to not assist anymore because of the weather, we even saw some search and rescue crews out here mixed in with people in the community, just taking that time to pay their respects to the victims.
All right, Ivan Rodriguez live for us this morning in Kerr County. Thank you so much.